I'm not sure where we are because my sign is all covered back there, but I think this is Accordion Cool, and I think I'm still Coach Dave, so we're doing a very special show today, and as you can see, I have a bunch of company with me, and they've all got these foolish instruments hanging around their necks. And if you notice, behind me is not my normal sign, but it happens to be the flag of Ukraine. Now, I know we've all been watching the news and seeing dead bodies in the street, burnt out buildings, all that type of thing. So we thought that we would just do a little tribute show today. Not going to play a lot of Ukrainian music because we don't know Ukrainian, but just some great tunes. Everybody's picked their own tunes, and we're just going to have a fun day today. And you get us for a whole hour instead of I hear the TV's clicking off already. But anyway, so introducing all the way. Oh, as the sign says, you're all members of the Massachusetts Accordion Association. Yes, there are those such things. Way over to my right is the president of said association, Carmen D'Angelo. Way over my far left is a former vice president, Jim Avedition. Next to him, Guy Lumbari. You're treasurer now, right? Treasurer and
secretary, newsletter.
Yeah, newsletter. That's the word I was trying to think of. Now, is that everybody? Oh. You know, before, when I told Austin, who's behind the glasses, usually we're going to do this show, he says, you know, could you do something to make the set a little more attractive?
Shame.
Faith Bertrand. Now, all these folks drove quite a way to be here today. It's a miserable day outside, so I certainly thank them. And, of course, thank everybody here at AACS that helped us put this together. We have even a cameraman today, Dave Angel, behind the camera, and Austin in his usual spot behind the glass where I can't see him unless he, makes funny faces at me. So without further ado, we're going to play a song all together, and Carmen, being president and head maestro, is going to take us a little Fly Me to the Moon from 1953, then some fella named Frank Sinatra, that's right. Yeah, he got a hold of it around 1963, and, well, kind of what's going to sound like today is what he did. So, Carmen, take us away, sir.
Okay, Coach.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
And ended to get son of a gun. Like I said, we're kind of tribute to Ukraine here today. Now, we're not going to, flash telephone numbers, and we're not tied up with any charity, but what we do hope is if you have the facilities and the capabilities, if you want to send us a little something to the local charities for the Ukraine folks, that'd be fine. But what we're asking, if you're watching this show, that's because somebody has sent you, I guess they call it a link, because I'm not at all up in computer stuff. And so we're just asking that everybody just keep sending links to their email, folks. And, you know, we might get this show across the country, so maybe even worldwide, who knows. So if you folks will help us out that way, and we'll just try and play some great songs for you. Carmen, we're going to let you start off with your solo, and you tell the folks what you're going to do.
Well, I'm going to do a Richard Rodgers tune of medley from Sound of Music, starting with Climb Every Mountain, and then ending with Sound of Music itself.
Well, here we are, and generally Austin can attribute to this. By this time in the show, I've probably said at least 3 or 4 dumb things, but I'm below quota. But that's also one of Faith's jobs today, because when I say something dumb, she's going to correct me. So
absolutely,
she'll probably be very busy. But
I expect
yes,
to be. Yes.
But we're going to introduce Faith Bertrand now, and she's going to tell us all what she is going to play.
Well, I'm going to be playing St. Louis Blues. It was written in 1914 by W.C. Handy, an African-American, commonly known as the father of the blues. It was inspired by the tortured, wailing sadness of a woman that Handy met on the streets of St. Louis. And her husband had disappeared, and it is this same sadness that is being experienced over and over again in Ukraine by the women there.
right, Faith Bertrand.
Made it.
Now, for you folks who watch the show, both of you, once in a while, you know that, like, I just throw stuff against the wall and hope some of it sticks. Well, the first two players here, that's what happens when you play the music that's written, not just chuck it up. But anyway, let's move on to Guy Lombari. Guy is from Providence, Rhode Island, right around the corner. He is the secretary of the Accordion Association, in charge of the newsletter, and does all kinds of good stuff. So, Guy, tell the folks what you're going to play for them.
Well, I thought I'd go back to the first recital I played at. I don't want to say how long, but probably about 55 or 60 years ago. And I played 2 songs. One was Tango with the Roses, and one was La Paloma. And needless to say, I botched them, killed them, and then stomped on them when I was done. So I've kind of rearranged them a little bit, you know, with the rolling accordion, and I'd like to put the 2 of them together and see if I can do a little better than I did 60 years ago. So.
right, Guy Lombari, very nice. Well, going all the way down to the end there, a few folks who may have seen the show before, just a few years ago, Jim was my very first guest. I think
true.
on the second show I ever did.
Yep.
Do you know how long ago that was?
I'm not sure. It's a long time. There's a lot of recordings there.
Yeah.
5 or 6 years?
How about 8 years?
8 years. Wow.
8 years. We're in our 8th season here, and almost at 300 shows. And Jim, as I said before, was a former vice president of the association, so
Wow.
it's all yours.
Gee, thanks. Okay, there's 2 songs that'll be coming up. One is More, was written in 1962. It was recorded and released in 1963, and it was actually adopted from an Italian documentary, Mondo Cane. I'm not sure if I said that last name correct. And the other one is Our Day Will Come, and that was written by Mort Garson and Bob Hilliard. It was first released in 1962 with Ruby and the Romantics. So when I was thinking about how I'm doing this, I'm looking around and I don't see Ruby. And I'm looking around, I don't see the Romantics either, although some of those might be Romantics. So we'll see. Anyways, I'm sure what I do won't sound anything like they did, but that's okay. So we'll see what happens.
right, okay. You know, it's not nice to play better than the host. You folks all understand that, don't you? We're going to give it back to Maestro Carmen for our next tune. And actually, I'm going to ask Guy if I can just kind of read off of his sheet, because I got an iPad here and the lights are, I can't see it.
What do you want to see?
No, I just want the chords. You guys are going to play it. You know, I just want to be able to see the chords, if that's okay. Is that all right?
$2.
Oh, okay, wait a minute. Put it on my bill. Carmen.
Well, we're going to play together now, right?
Yes, we are.
And we're going to play Country Roads by John Denver, actually. And a real classic from the 60s and 70s. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
Country Roads. See, Carmen sent the music out for these, and I don't know how to print off of my iPad, so I got it tiny like this, and so thank you, Guy, for letting me hang on to your music there. Well, I guess it's solo time again, Mr. President.
Well, I thought do a little bit something upbeat that Janis Joplin made famous, I think, with the famous lines, "Freedom just another word for nothing left to lose." Me and Bob and McGee.
Did we ever find out who Bobby McGee was?
No, I'll have to look into that.
That's a little piece of trivia there. Miss Faith, you are on.
Well, next I'll be playing Granada. And I chose it for two reasons. First, because Spain has been a generous contributor to both the humanitarian and military aid flowing into Ukraine. Secondly, for the similarity between Granada and cities in Ukraine today that have been captured and destroyed by invading forces. After years of war and dictatorship, the last 50 years in Granada have resulted in a complete transformation and restoration of this glorious city. This is our prayer for Ukraine as well.
All right, Granada. These people playing. Jeez. Well, I guess I got to do one, huh?
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. That's my show. I mean, yeah. I had several thoughts about what I would play today. And again, as you can see, we're not really playing protest-type songs, but songs that kind of, fit what's going on. And once again, don't want to beat a dead horse, but if somebody has sent this to you, please send this on so we can watch something besides all the carnage that's going on there. So I thought about this song, and this song was actually the song of the century for the 20th century, which is 20th is the 1900s, right? That's not, because now because it's 20, we're in 20. Yeah, I just got to check on my, Okay, so, and it's sung by a little girl in the middle of a cornfield. And this song came from a movie, and every little girl in the world over the age of 10 has probably seen this movie about 40 times. And this song almost didn't get in the movie because the producers said, who's going to believe a little girl in a cornfield would sing a song like that? Well, she did, and they did, and a little tune called Over the Rainbow. Over the rainbow for all the little kids that are running for their lives across the big ocean there. And Faith and I were talking the other day, and we both came up with the same idea at the same time. You're talking about, the things they're sending over there, money and clothes and food. Almost every picture you see of the refugees, somebody's got a little dog. Who's sending dog food? It's a thought, right? It's a thought. Okay, Guy, please save me.
Save you. I would like to put together here. I love Latin music, so I got 3 songs. They all have a Latin kick to them. The first one, I heard it played, believe it or not, by the Desi Arnaz Orchestra, and we all know he loved the flair of Latin music. So I coupled the song that he played was Carioca. Coupled it with Take You Down to Argentina, The Girl from Ipanema. And then this is originally song, I think it was British, it was written, but it turned into be a very popular cha-cha song in this country, Tea for Two. So I'll play them kind of short versions, but give them to you.
All right, a little Latin. Well, who's left?
Well, I guess, yeah. Hey, you know, I was wondering if it happens to anybody else. When I'm listening to a whole bunch of different players, all of a sudden it's tougher for me to get back into Mayan, you know, that mindset. Does ever happen to anybody else?
Well, I don't want to, you know, when we were playing earlier,
Yeah.
what did I forget one of the songs I was playing, but we had just played another one, and that was in my head, and I said, wait a minute, that's not the song I'm supposed to. But, you know, we're old enough that we can cover it up.
Yeah, we cover it up.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm old enough that we can.
Well,
Okay.
anyway.
All right, James.
Yes, this one called Imagine, John Lennon one. He wrote it in one
Can I
session.
interrupt you for 1 second?
Yes, you may.
The fellow who does the morning radio show in this same building, way up in the penthouse on the 15th floor, Paul Healy, had thought he might come in for a little cameo today, but he had to broadcast from home. This is his favorite song of all time. He was
wow.
on the show once, and I had to play it 14 times, but that's it.
Wow.
So Imagine, yeah, great tune.
I can imagine that.
Yes, yes. Imagine that might happen.
Well, he recorded one session in the studio. It was actually released in October 1971. When he went to record it in a real studio, for some reason it didn't work out, so he ended up doing it in his own. The lyrics were considered radical for the time by some. No countries, no heaven, no religion, no possessions. And some of the people thought that was a little bit hypocritical because he happened to have a custom-painted Rolls Royce. So it was kind of interesting. The World Council of Churches asked to use that song, but they wanted to change no religion to one religion, and he would not buy that. So one version, he actually used strings from the Philharmonic Orchestra, which you're not going to see right here. Anyway.
Very nice. Imagine. Well, you know, you've heard of Clark Kent and Superman, right? Never see in the same place at the same time. Well, Dave Angel was behind the cameras, and all of a sudden he changed into James Friedman. James Friedman is now man. Boy, I want to tell you that Dave Angel, he's pretty talented. He changes. You know, you think Superman's good? Yeah. James Friedman joining our little group. Thanks, James. James, wave at James. Wave to. All right. All right. Well, you know, we're getting kind of near the end of our time here today. If anybody wants to do like one more quick solo, any volunteers?
Sure.
Okay, Carmen's good. Just a quick one, Carmen. A couple minutes,
quick
maybe.
one.
Yep.
The opposite of imagine.
Is.
Put your hand in the hand.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that. Okay. Well, Faith here, not only being, as you know, a great accordion player, she is great with electrocution. What?
It's elocution.
Oh, I'm sorry. You do that too?
I do.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, what we're going to try to do here, and again, like I said, I'm having a little problem saying these things, but we'll see what happens. But we're going to close our show, first of all, by thanking everybody for coming today. I really appreciate it. It's a lousy day outside, rain and everything, and everybody came. We have our studio audience. Audience, give yourselves a round of applause. Let's hear it for there we go, a studio audience. And James behind the camera, and Dave, who had to leave, and Austin behind the glass, who everybody wave at Austin. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is hopefully I will play it right, but with her elocution, yeah, that's what she's going to do, is the Ukrainian national anthem. Now, Austin, don't panic if you see me playing and you don't see her lips moving, because she's going to be saying it in English, which is the translation, and of course I'm going to be playing in Ukrainian, or I don't know, some foolish language, but anyway.
Dave, may I interject to just let the audience know, the words, the translation in English was not written to fit the music. So Dave and I have worked to try to work it out. We may not come out together, and we might, but A for effort, right, Dave?
You got it. Okay, are you ready?
I am ready.
Oh, I have to go to the bathroom. Oh, no.
Chord, what chord?
At the end.
At the end.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's try this.
See thy glories born again, and the skies, O brethren, upon us smile once more. As in springtime melts the snow, so shall melt away the foe, and we shall be masters in our own land. Soul and body, yea, our all, offer we at freedom's call. We, whose forebears and ourselves are Cossacks all.
Thank you all for watching. See you next time.